Welcome back to No Man's Sky, everyone. Jason here, and in today's video I'm going to show you the basics of how to build a base with power. So the Beyond update is awesome. It added a lot of different elements to the game, and one of the bigger things that people have noticed and have a little bit of an issue with is power. So, hey, Scroobulish one. So this is my base. This is everything it stayed here from pre-Beyond. So I have all this stuff built, you know, my farm from before. I have all this stuff here. The problem is all this stuff needs to be powered. You see these cool like little red lightning bolts? That means they don't have any power. So the first thing you want to do is, once you've placed a base down, you need to build a construction research unit. And you could do that through the menu down, and the menu's changed a little bit as well. So now they kind of separated stuff. You want to go to Tech, Portable, and here's where all your portable technology is going to be. And then the Construction Research Unit is going to cost you 20 magnetized ferrite and 1 carbon nanotube, okay? This is basically your blueprint analyzer now. This is where you get your blueprints to build things. But they call it a research unit because if you go into it, and it actually doesn't matter which selection you make, and I'll show you that in a second. Let's go to Buildable Technology. It gives you the trees on what you need to do. And so the trees are actually dependent on themselves. So you need to make the first thing in order to get to anything below it. So I need to research the biofuel reactor before I get to any of the electrical wiring or anything like that. They are locked because I haven't done the biofuel reactor. So, you're going to need salvage technology for this, and that's going to be a pain. It's not really a big pain, but you're going to be looking around. I could have sworn I saw one earlier. But you're going to be looking for a symbol that looks like a Wi-Fi signal. It's kind of like a little beacon. It's going to be a bluish tint. And I'll show you it right here. But yeah, and so you're going to look for that bluish tint, the Wi-Fi signal. You're going to dig up the buried technology, and then you're going to get the item, and what it has inside is salvage data. And they usually give you between 2 and 4. I've gotten a lot of them that are 4, but you can get between 2 and 4 for every buried tech you dig up. So once you've done that, come back to your construction research unit. And the reason why it doesn't change is here, watch it, let me show you. I'll go to the structures part right here. So this is all the walls and things you can do. And if you press the R1 and R2, or R1 and L1, you can kind of switch different menus, okay? You have different buildable walls, metal shelters, concrete shelters, things like that. But you can also go right over to the technology tree again. So doesn't matter which option you choose. You can always just hit your R1 and L1 and switch between pages. But what we're focused on is power for this. And so you're going to need 1 for your biofuel reactor. And you have to buy it because you can't get to the other tree, but you don't want to use this. This is going to cost too much materials to keep charging. So you want to buy it, but we're not going to use it really. And then let's go down to electrical wiring. This one they give you for free. You can grab the electrical wiring for free. It doesn't take any data. So just grab that one there. And then here are the ones you want. You can get battery, and that costs 3 salvage data. So that battery, it stores up electricity. And then you have your solar panel. That costs 8 salvage tech. So 8 plus 3 plus 1, that's what, 12? You're going to need 12 the buried tech to unlock all of this. 12 salvage data. So that, just keep that number in mind. You're going to need at least 12 to unlock those 3, or those 4 technically. The electrical wiring's free, so I don't really count it, but you need the biofuel reactor and then the battery and solar panel. Now, we have all those, and it's awesome, all right? Oh, now it's getting dark, so it's not going to really work. But that's okay. I will show you the basics on how to do that. So when you start laying them down, you want to go down to your basic menus on your base building. You want to go up to Tech, select that one, and you go all the way over to the right. There is a thing called Power and Industrial. So you have an industrial, the machines, you have your power, and then you have your technology. Let's go to power. And here you can make your switches, and those are more advanced things like that. If you guys have questions about that, I can show you more later on. This is just more of a general overview of how to do this. Then you have your battery, and then you have biofuel reactor, your solar panel, and then your wires. Now the basic setup is you need to generate power and store it into a battery for use for later. That's your basic setup. So if you use your biofuel reactor, you're going to have to keep putting fuel in there, and it takes oxygen or carbon, and so you'll just keep doing it because it burns it off. It's just like your refiner. And so that's a pain in the butt. If you keep putting it in there, and it doesn't even last that long. I've put in 1,000 carbon, and it lasted 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So not worth it at all. This is like an emergency. Like if you don't have any materials and you really need to power something, use the biofuel reactor. But instead, let's make the solar panel. Now, you see the ingredients you need over there. You need 2 metal plating, 75 chromatic metal, and 50 gold. So let's make the metal plating real fast. So we're going to need 2 metal plating. And so we'll make a solar panel. And this is going to be down and dirty. You can make different setups to hide everything, but I'm just going to place it down. So there you go. Now the problem is solar panels only work during the day. So at night, it's not going to do anything for you. So that's kind of a pain in the butt, but that's okay. That's why you're going to make a battery. So let's go back to the menus. Let's go over to the battery. So the battery is just going to store up the electricity you make. So let's pop that down. But the problem is nothing's connected, okay? So easy peasy. Let's go down to the build menu again. If you go all the way to the left, and it's okay if you keep backing out like that because it always remembers where you were. So if you're in the technology area, it'll always put you back into the power and technology. So every one of these has 4 different sides that you can connect a wire to. So let's pick this one right here. We're going to connect it, so you hit the right trigger, the R2. It'll connect the wire, and then you have to drag it over and connect it to the battery. And you have 4 different modules on the battery as well. So let's connect it to that side. Boom. So now the solar panel's connected to the battery. It'll generate power, and it'll give it to the battery. That's awesome. But we still need to power this dome right here. So let's grab this side, the other side of it. Connect the battery by pressing the trigger in. And then connecting that wire over to the dome. Boom. So now we have a power grid. Now it's working. Now it's good to go. But there's no sunlight. And so it won't generate any power because there's no sunlight there. And anything that needs electricity is powered down. So this dome needs electricity to work. And this, I can't grow any plants or anything like that unless there's electricity to help it out. So that's the pain in the butt. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a biofuel reactor. But I'm telling you right now, don't use this thing. It is not worth it. But I'm gonna place it down just to show you how it works. So we need 1 metal plating for this, and it's cheaper to make. I shouldn't say cheaper. It's less expensive. It takes less materials to make it because the biofuel reactor only needs oxygen and 1 metal plating. Okay, 40 oxygen, 1 metal plating. But you put it down, it needs fuel. Whoop. So actually we need to connect it with a wire as well, just like the solar panel. So it only has 2. So let's grab the front right here. We're going to connect a wire, and then we're going to drag it over to the battery. Let's connect it there. Boom. So now it's connected, but it's not making any electricity. We need to fill it up. So let's hold down X, just like a refiner. And now we need to add fuel to it. Whoop, come on. Are we not? There we go. Fuel tank, sorry. I just spazzed out for a second. It wouldn't let me do anything. Fuel tank. Now, it will never, be full. You can put as much as you want in there, which is scary. So, look at that. I'm carrying 36,000. Wait a minute. Actually, let me see. That might be actually the limit. So 3,600? Yes, okay, so 3,600 is the limit for your carbon. Okay? But I have more oxygen, so I might put oxygen in there just to balance it out. Your limit is 3,600 carbon, or what is that, 1,800 carbon or oxygen? Let's do 1,800 oxygen. Let's see what's going on with that. So we're going to fill it all the way up. You can't choose anything less unless you have a smaller stack, okay? Like if I were to come up with only 500 oxygen, it would take all 500. But it's going to take as much as you'll give it. So if you're carrying 3,600 carbon, it'll take all of your carbon. So watch out for that. So let's pop in 1,800 oxygen. And now it's there. Burn time. Oh, look, they actually fixed it. It takes an hour now. Nice. Okay. So now, when we're looking at the power grid, right here, your battery, it's depleted and it's not making any, it's not getting any, it's not being charged. What's going on? Well, if you look over here on the right side, you see your grid power usage. I'm using 50 amps and I'm only making 50 amps. So therefore, there's no extra electricity to put in the battery. So I'm going to need more electricity so I can make extras to put in the battery, because the battery only gets charged if there's extra electricity. Because right now, this dome takes 50, and so that generator is only making 50. Yeah, you walk in, everything's actually, you know, the lights are on, things like that. But in my my power grid, this biofuel reactor is only making 50, and so I need that just to power down or power up my dome. So what you can do, if you want to put some in the battery, let's actually go into our build menu. And while you're in the menu and you don't want to put anything down, hold down the left trigger, L2, and put your cursor over a wire. It'll turn kind of a reddish like that. And I'll hit your right bumper, or right trigger, sorry, your R2, and it just got rid of that wire. It just deleted that wire. So now, instead of powering the dome, my biofuel reactor is actually powering the battery. See how the storing battery is going up? So now I'm producing electricity to go to the battery, so I can power up the battery for nighttime use or whenever I want to use it. And see how it's going up? And so it tells you right here, okay, time until it's fully charged, 14 minutes. And this is real time, you guys, so you got to wait 14 minutes for it to be fully charged. And the best thing about it, though, is this solar panel will generate the same amount of electricity, about 50 for each solar panel you put up there, but it only works during the daytime, but you don't need to put fuel in it either. Solar panel, it works by itself, so it'll tell you if you go into it, it says, hey, there's insufficient light. Dark hours remaining, I have 5 minutes left of my dark time, my nighttime. And so it won't do any power, it won't produce anything for another 5 minutes or so. But the best part about that is that you can make multiple solar panels, produce more electricity than you need, and hook them up to batteries, because at nighttime, when the solar panels turn off, your power grid will start using the battery. And so that's why you want to do that. That way you don't have to upkeep anything. You don't have to keep putting in fuel. Like this thing, it'll run. I got another hour left on it, but it'll just run until it's gone. You can't turn it off. You can't, take it out. You can't do anything with it. So once you've put the items in there, they're gone forever, and it'll just keep running. There's no way to turn it off. And so that kind of sucks. I wish I was able to turn it off when the sun comes out. That way the solar panels can do it. But nope. It keeps going until it runs out of fuel, you guys. That's why, another reason why you don't want to use the biofuel reactor, okay? But yeah, that's generally how you want to do it. And I mean, always remember, you have to connect your wires, okay? And you can do funky things with wires. Like if you don't like them just poking out, like I can do this, connect it there. And you can okay, if I wanted to connect it to this building, you can make it into straight lines like that. Boom. See? There. And then there. And then there. You can put it wherever you want. Okay? At every point of reference right there, like, look, I can connect another wire there and split it off and put it up. I could put them all over the place. Anytime you stop the wire, you can add another wire to that connection and bring it out somewhere else. So you could just do all kinds of cool stuff with your wires, but you need the wires to get the electricity from where it's generated to where it's needed. So you always need to plug in wherever you need to go. And so with the prefab structures, it's easy peasy. Like these domes, they're pre-constructed. You don't have to build them. They have little outlets that you could just plug into. With the pieces, the single piece structures that you have to build yourself, I still haven't gone into that. I need to look at it more. There's no plugs or anything like that. So you're going to be running wires all along the walls and into cracks and crevices in order to power, you know, like your lights like this. This needs a power outlet, you know. You need to put a wire to these little lights or else they're not going to light up. You know? Thankfully, like your large refiner does not need power. Thank God. Your portable refiner doesn't need power. There's a lot of things that don't need power, but the things that do usually will have an outlet on them like this. You see, there's a little plug on it, so I know I have to plug it in to a power in order for it to work. All right? So hopefully you guys like this general overview of the power system and how to power your bases. If you did, hit that like button for me, and if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading episodes all the time, and I will see you guys next time.